Hello, good evening all. Welcome to this Facebook Live on what should you do so that your customers can find you. Times have changed, and as sales professionals, we're very happy going and meeting customers. The world will not be the same again. So it's been roughly 2 months since the coronavirus started to flip our lives upside down. From having to practice social distancing and getting used to life without the outdoors, to continuously washing your hands and wearing masks, and seeing loved ones and friends getting sick, the coronavirus is something that none of us expected. On the businesses, our businesses are suffering. Some of the results that are coming out are devastating. And when I talk to my business clients, coaching clients, and I ask them, how do you plan to address the situation? The one thing that I constantly hear from all of them is, I will cut costs. And when I ask them, what are the kind of costs that you would like to reduce, the most common piece that I'm hearing from all of them is, I'll cut down on my marketing expenses. Now look at this. Your outbound sales has come to a zero, has come to a halt. The salespeople are no longer able to meet the customers. And by stopping your marketing, you are now bringing down the possibility of inbound customers. And hence, most of these decisions, and I tell them openly, are based on very myopic thinking. Or should I say, it's thinking of the now. I know I keep on telling people that think of the now, but then as business owners, as an individuals who have gone into a business, the long-term considerations are not being taken into account. Something is seriously wrong. And let me explain with an example. Let's say you decide to reduce your marketing expenses budget to meet the cost-cutting demands. What happens next? Cost comes down, profitability goes up, and you're very happy. You wanted to bring in money into the system, you wanted to see your bottom line in the immediate showing a positive impact, and you've got it. But what are the consequences of this decision? And I promise you, if you sit back with me and if you spend some time with me, the consequences that I will show you about this decision that you're taking, this myopic decision that you're taking, is going to be earth-shattering. Your number of leads will reduce. And I keep on telling people that when the economy opens, are you ready to sprint? And if your number of leads reduce, from where will the conversion happen? From where will the sales happen? Because number of customers is always going to be a function of your conversion of the leads. It is also the common adage that we use regularly, out of sight, out of mind. So the branding of your company is now getting restricted. And if I show you the future, and if you have this crystal glass, and I show you the future, you will realize that the value of your company, the long-term value of a company, has taken a severe beating, which will result in the growth rates coming down, and which will, in the long run, the shareholders' value will come down. So I've shown you this negative picture about it, and you'll ask me, so what? And here is my suggestion to you. It's again time to pivot. We discussed about pivoting last time. And the pivot should come in from the fundamental question, why are you doing certain things in life? It is not what you are doing. That answer why has to be very, very clear. Because if your answer to the question why is clear, it's easy for you to pivot, and it's easy for you to look at alternative options. And people who have attended my webinars have spoken to me in the past, so many calls that have happened over the last 5 weeks. I have told you time and again, and you have accepted, that never ever focus on 3 things in life as a sales professional. Never focus on the number of customers you have. Never focus on the revenue you're making, and never focus on the profit you're making. Because these 3 are outcomes. These are an outcome of the actions that you're going to take. And one of the primary actions is, how do I constantly keep on increasing the leads and the conversion? And in the absence of outbound marketing, which is also called as sales, how do I enhance my inbound? This unprecedented situation has led to a complete disappearance of all major channels of B2B marketing. Events, conferences, one-to-one meeting. And this is going to pose an enormous challenge going forward in the future. Because customers will not be ready to meet you. Events will be canceled. We do God knows for how many months. The trade shows will be canceled. A lot of automobile companies are looking at shutting down their showrooms because customers will not come. Slowly, we are seeing a dip in the outward sales activities that we are so used to for so long. B2B companies in particular rely on the annual circuit of trade shows and exhibitions and networks to build customer relationships. Those are gone. Hence, it is time for us to look at the inward marketing strategies and the activities that we are going to take. Make no mistake, customers are still looking for us. If they are not actually buying from us right now, they're still looking for us. So are we there where the customer is looking for us? So how do we ensure that we are there where the customer is looking for us? And here are some of the questions that I'm going to ask, and the strategies that we'll talk about, the actions that we'll talk about. I think strategy is a very top-heavy word. We'll not even talk about strategy. We'll talk about actions today. When did you last have a look at your digital marketing actions? And I'm sure most of us, till about mid of Feb, early March, had thought about our digital marketing strategy as an add-on to our outbound sales activities. And now time is going to change. Our time has already changed. The world is not going to be the same again. So it's now time for us to go back and relook at our entire digital marketing actions that we have taken or not taken in the past. Let's talk about the website. What kind of website do we have? Is it a static website for the URL to be printed on our business cards, on our brochures, and all our communication tools? So we can go and flaunt to the world that we have a website. And sometimes the website becomes a validating tool for our customers, that does this company really exist, and are they doing what they're talking about doing? And most of the websites that I've seen in the last 6-7 weeks of my customers are all static websites. And when I asked them, when was it last updated? Most of them, again, and nearly all of them, not even most of them, nearly all of them look heavenwards and say, we don't know. In almost all the websites that I've seen in the last few weeks, products have not been uploaded, services have not been uploaded, there has been no testimonials that has been uploaded, nothing has been done. So it's a website that is sitting somewhere, telling the world that here is me who exists. And if you are a returning customer who has not seen the sales team for a long time and who wants to reestablish the connect that he had with the organization, what will he see in that website? What will that returning customer see in our website? The same old stuff or something new? Think about it. We need to constantly update and upload our websites. Gone are the days when we could have kept the same content for weeks together and said, my website exists. Today, yesterday is old news. Till about 3 months back, the old news was about 3 months back. But today, with so much information available and so much of digital presence that is happening, so much of screen time that is happening, what I upload today, this Facebook Live, what I upload today, and this will obviously get into multiple channels, is over by tomorrow morning. People have seen it, people have forgotten it. So yesterday is old news, so I need to ensure that what is new in my website. The imagery has to be fresh. And it does not mean that we need to go out and reshoot things. But the imagery, the photographs have to change. And the content needs constant updation. Today, content is key. We talk in terms of branding about how things look like, that's all fine. But what is the content that you're giving? What is the knowledge that you're giving? We'll talk about knowledge as we go forward. But knowledge is king today. How are we going to differentiate ourselves from this clutter that is going around with webinars and Facebook Lives and so on and so forth? How are we distinguishing ourselves? It's the constant communication and upskilling and acknowledging our prospects and our customers. SEO has kind of become mandatory, and I understand it's expensive, and I understand it takes a long time, and it's not going to happen tomorrow. But SEO is mandatory. All of us who are in whatever space that we are in, we need to start relooking at the SEO. It may take 6 months, but is my customer finding me in the first 10 options that is available to him when he types? So we should ask our customer. And I'm sure none of us have gone and asked our customer that what are the keywords that he's keying in when he's seeking a product or service similar to mine. What are those 5-10 keywords? And those keywords should be part of our website. And that is where SEO comes in. Having looked at the website, the next piece is blogs. Why are we so wary about writing something about us, our product, our company, and general knowledge? General knowledge, when I mean as sales and marketing professionals, we can look at two pieces. One, What is my personal brand that I'm creating? Because please don't mistake that the customer is seeking you as well. He wants to know who is that individual to whom he's going to give his 1-2 hours of his time. So what are you doing to enhance your space, your brand? And we have so much knowledge, and many of us 30, 40, 50 years on this planet, we have so much to share, but why can't we put it on a piece of paper, write it, edit it, and upload it? Who's talking about us becoming the Booker award-winning author? It's again the content, and it's again basic grammar and basic edit tools. So what about those blogs? So as an employee or as a business owner, am I writing blogs? Because the organization or the customer doesn't want to see only one side of me. He doesn't want to see the one facet of me. He wants to see a multifaceted personality. Here, knowledge is key. Whatever knowledge you give him is your key to success. And knowledge will become that key differentiator, and we need to be constantly upskilling ourselves so that we can share that knowledge with our customer. Look at your daily schedules and look at the amount of time you're wasting on unnecessary things. I'm not saying don't relax. I am not saying the other day I was talking to a coaching client of mine. He said, "Sir, you keep on saying that don't look at Amazon Prime and don't look at Hotstar and so on and so forth." I said, "Pardon me, I'm not saying that at all. The only thing that I'm saying is look at your daily default calendar, 7 a.m. in the morning to 11 p.m. at night. What is the percentage of time you're allocating to each one of them? There has to be family time, there has to be relaxation time, there has to be I time, there has to be me time, there has to be office time, all put together. And I can assure you, you will find the time and the space to upskill and share your knowledge." The beautiful thing about digital marketing is that the same content can be reprocessed. Today I am doing a Facebook Live. My example, today I'm doing a Facebook Live. This same recording would be uploaded on YouTube. That same recording would be uploaded on LinkedIn tomorrow. That same recording would get into my WhatsApp groups. The same recording would get into my website. And the same recording would be converted into a blog and posted as a blog. So it's not that you have to write 5, 10 different kinds of things. You have to do 10 different kinds of things with the same content. And there are situations, and I have done that in the past, when I had done 2-hour webinars, I've cut and put this up as separate 3-minute, 4-minute teasers on my site. So blogs is important. Along with that vlogs is important, because videos has become the big marketing tool. Facebook gives a lot of importance to this Facebook Live. So the more sessions that you do on Facebook Live, they will indirectly start promoting it. And Facebook promotion is not, and even if I have to do it myself, it's not too expensive. I can do it. And it keeps on creating that great brand. LinkedIn Live is difficult. There is a lot of challenge with LinkedIn Live. There is a waiting period, but Facebook Live is common. You can go into YouTube Lives. What's stopping you? Because videos are becoming much more creditable than any other method of communication, because the person is seeing, my audience is seeing the person talking and also sharing. So it's not that somebody else has written something and I'm just parroting it out here. Because people see through, people are intelligent, people see through your levels. What is the depth of communication or knowledge that you have? And I hear this very common. A lot of people and a lot of my people that I keep on talking about creating brands and blogs and vlogs and so on and so forth. A lot of them have come and told me that they don't have the capabilities to do great videos. Now, who's going and watching a film, my friend? Nobody's watching a film. People are watching this video, and if they watch the video, they will watch it because of the content. So you don't have to do a great video, great edit, and so on and so forth. Please understand the quality of the video is not so important. What is important is the content. If you have a team who can edit videos, great. If you don't have a team, take your phone, laptop, record, and post it, upload it. And you can take the same thing, like I said, move on from multiple channels. This is called the reprocessing of content. Sometimes it's very important to have a great thumbnail, and I'll give you a secret. What I use when you're uploading on YouTube, a great thumbnail is good. And you don't need to be an artist to be do a great thumbnail. Open your PowerPoint, and most of us are great at PowerPoint. Open your PowerPoint, create an image, create a slide, and today PowerPoint, whoever has the official versions of PowerPoint, they give you options of designs. Create a good design, save that PowerPoint slide as a JPEG image, and upload as a thumbnail. So your life is sorted. It's only our mindset that tells us what we cannot do. And you don't need great resources to do it. You just need a decent computer, decent content, decent knowledge of PowerPoint, and upload and reprocess it. The next big thing is database. Database building has been ignored for a long time. A lot of people have not cleaned up their database, and my coaching clients, some of them are crying because they have not cleaned up their databases. The old email IDs of vsnl.net.in are still featuring in some of the databases. Some point in time, you need to start. You need to start because this will be our greatest tool for conversion going forward. And again, people who have attended the webinars, they will know that when we talk in terms of increasing the frequency of buying as one of the tools that we use in our enhancement of revenue and profit, we insist that please write to every customer of yours in that database once in 90 days, 4 times a year. And you will see the impact of it. We have spent so much time, energy, and money on customer acquisition. Somewhere, as great salespeople, we forget that customer retention is easier than customer acquisition. And we are not spending enough and more time on customer acquisition, on customer retention. And this is what we should all do. That database, to every customer, 1 card in every 90 days. 1 card. And snail mail has still gets a great amount of impact. People are so used to getting emails that they really acknowledge the receipt of something that is handwritten. I was talking to a client of mine, a prospect of mine the other day, and he said he is from the real estate. And when I told him about writing to his past customers, he says, "Sir, Malloy, what are you talking about? My customers buy from me once every 7 years." I said, okay. Now 7 years, I'm asking you to write to the customer, send cards, 28 cards. And each card at the most, including postage, will be 200 rupees. Is 5,600 rupees over a 7-year period not a great investment for generating a revenue of a couple of crores? Think about it. You will not be at the face of the customer anymore. You will not be there. Think about it. What are you going to do? End of the day, remember that all of us are salespeople. And we need to think like salespeople, that how does a customer engage with me? Another common thing that we can easily talk in terms of is creating landing pages. We have a website, but we also have landing pages. And these landing pages are easy to create. Anybody who's managing a website will tell you it's so easy to create. And these are so flexible. This can be changed anytime. This can be updated anytime. This has nothing to do with the updation of the website. So create landing pages. Have magnetic, compelling images and headlines there. Make offers to the customer which will which will compel the customer to look around for you. A lot of knowledge sharing can be done through these landing pages, and these can be customized. This can be customized based on products and market segments. I've given you 6 things that you can do and start immediately, and none of them cost too much money except the SEO. Because we are in uncertain times. And as salespeople, it's time for us to change our pivot and paradigm and start looking at inward marketing, because outward marketing is something that we excel in. Now, in that excellence, we also now to bring in the digital piece of how are we presenting ourselves on a Zoom call. What are we communicating? Because the attention span of the customer is no longer going to be that high. On Monday, I will talk in terms of how do you create your personal brand on the virtual mode. One of the great ways of creating a personal brand, one is imagery. You wear a great shirt, you wear a great trouser, fitting trouser, you have a great shave, you wear the fanciest of shoes, shining, and walking into the customer place, you create a brand. But how do you create a brand on the virtual medium when all those things of the image management piece are missing? So one, we have to work on that piece. But the second piece, which is more important as salespeople, you cannot call yourself salespeople anymore. You have to call yourselves marketing professionals and look at the inbound marketing and be there at the face of the customer where the customer is looking for you. Because with the increase of remote working, companies have to turn to digital channels, and we have to embrace this transformation. As long as businesses approach the shift to this digital marketing, this can no longer be only a short-term strategy or a short-term emergency fill-in, as we call it, but could carry on providing long-term value even when the world comes back to normal, which could be 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. If anybody says he knows when the world is coming back to normal, he's guessing. We don't know. And once you're ready with all these strategies, your company and yourself, you'll become more resilient to deal with future events of this. And if you see the world in the last 21, 22 years, you had the .com, you had the terror attack in the US, you had, and for very India specific, you had .com, you have the terror attack when a lot of companies were affected, you had the subprime crisis, then you had the Mumbai terror attack, then you had demonet, you had GST, and you have COVID. So every 3, 4, 5 years, something or the other is changing the way we do business. And today we have to start preparing ourselves that we become more resilient to deal with these kind of future events, because they will keep on coming. So to finish up, 4-5 suggestions that I have. One, please don't cut down on your marketing. Start doing more marketing, in fact. Shift how and where you are marketing yourself. Your channels need to change. Even for a B2B segment, your channels need to change. And when I used to teach marketing management, even till about January of this year, I said for B2B, the biggest component has to be personal selling. That will change. That has to change. You have to shift your message. You cannot talk the same message every single time. And you have to constantly do it. You have to bring in that dedication and discipline within yourself to do it. Have a calendar about when will you do, what will you do. Your budgets need to be reallocated to the new channels. And because we are today in a world where we are not too sure what is going to work and not going to work, we have to test and measure and adapt everything that we are doing till we come to some semblance of certainty about what is working and what is not working. Thank you very much for your time. This is what I had to share with you, because now customers have to find you. Thank you so much. If there's any question, I'm happy to address. Otherwise, my numbers are here. Anyone who wants to reach out to me, please feel free to reach out to me. Anything that I can address? I have about 5 more minutes to go, but I'm happy logging off in case there are more questions. You can type in your questions now. You can send me a WhatsApp. You can email me. I'll give you my email as well. You can email me for any clarifications that you may have. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself and do some great marketing. Thank you. God bless.